This is 7:30 Tea with Riie.
So I'm like, oh my god, I'm literally stranded in a flooding canal.
He's like, oh, I hope you don't mind. I invited my friends.
When he pulls up to pick me up, he's in a weird-looking van.
Riie is spilling all the tea. Hello, everybody, and welcome to 7:30 Tea with Riie. I am excited because it is another Spiked Tea with Riie episode. So, you already know, I am lounging in my room right now with my cozy ambiance music in the back. This time I have it winter themed instead of fall themed. I had to follow, with the themes and stuff. Got to keep up with it. I also am sitting in a nice, cozy aesthetic right now. I changed my fall decor to winter decor. So I've got all of my Christmas stuff up. I've got cute little Santa stuff. I've got fluffy things. I've got a wreath in my room. I'm fucking obsessed. I literally love Christmas. I actually, this past week, I went to the Jones Beach Light Show with my family because we have, on my dad's side of the family, my aunt is in town and she's visiting. I don't know how long she's going to be here for, but I literally love her. She's the best. This is our first time, really getting to know her, and I really like her. So I'm, excited she's here, and it's been a lot of fun. So we all went to the holiday light show the other day, and that was super fun. So I'm literally just okay, slay. So yeah, how have you guys been doing this week? I want to hear about how you guys are doing, so definitely swipe up on my stories. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me any tea that you gotta fill me in on. Tell me anything, literally. I'm also happy too because, to get a little bit personal here, to spill some tea to kickstart the night, I'm kind of I've been talking to somebody, and I don't know, I feel like God decided to be nice to me because I'm actually genuinely excited about this person. I don't want to give too much details, but we do have a date this weekend and it's ice skating and I'm really hyped. I just hope it goes well. I'm literally scared to fuck this up. So let me just take another sip of my wine. That probably sounded so gross. I'm so sorry. But anyways, I'm excited to tell the embarrassing stories that I have for today's drunk tea time, okay? Because these are some really good stories, and I can't wait because I actually have so much more to tell, and the really good ones I'm saving for other episodes, but let me tell you, I've had some even more embarrassing shit conveniently happen this past weekend, but I'm saving those, and they're really good. But before I get into the ones for today instead, before I get into those, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of what this podcast is about if you're new here. And, if you are new here, I'm very happy that you're here. So this podcast is all about spilling tea and sharing your deepest, darkest secrets. So if you have any tea to spill, DM me on Instagram at 730 Tea with Riie. And you spell that 730 TEAWITHRIE. Or you can DM me on my main Instagram account at Rihanna Flores, and you spell that RIEANNAFLORES. And if you wish to be anonymous, please let me know. Your story should be up to 500 words or less, and if you want to send an audio voice message instead of typing out your story, please just keep it up to 5 minutes max. Thank you. Now we're going to get into our first story of the day. So, yeah, you guys are going to hear all of what I'm going to spill on myself. So this first one is called I Was Sitting Down on a Deceased Person's Bench. Okay, so this one, by the way, guys, I just want to let you know this whole episode is unscripted. I just did bullet points. You should be proud of me. I'm actually winging it. Anyways, this story, yeah, so I think it was like, it had to have been 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was in this like situationship, and this guy and I, we had been hanging out a lot or whatever. And so one of the dates we went on, we decided to go to this park that is maybe like 15 minutes from my house, right? And this is like a childhood park. I love this park. It's like a really calming place. And, you know, you see a lot of people there walking around, being peaceful and whatnot, right? And so we're sitting on this bench in the park, you know, just like laughing and joking around and like holding hands, being cutesy, right? And this woman and this man come up to us. This woman and this man come up to us, and they're like, excuse me, you're sitting on our son. We're here to see him. Today's his birthday. I'm like, oh my God. Oh fuck. Like, I felt so bad. We were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, sorry for your loss. Sorry. Like, it was just so awkward. And like, I felt bad, but also like, what a weird way what a weird way to approach someone. Excuse me, you're sitting on our son. What? I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure this bench is a bench. Like, I hope that doesn't sound mean or insensitive, but like, it was so uncomfortable. I felt bad like already. And you're like, hey, you're sitting on my dead son. Like, I know the bench is dedicated to him, but holy shit, like, it was just so uncomfortable. I hope I'm not being insensitive. It's just, it was actually really awkward, and I felt really bad. Either way, my condolences go out to them, but it was the most awkward moment of my life. I was just like, wow, like, I didn't mean to sit on your son, you know? But yeah, that's one of my crazy stories. Anyways, let's get into our second story of the day. This one is, I named it, you're a professional, because those words really do matter in this story, okay? I promise you, it's gonna make sense in a second. So, I remember when it was like maybe my, I think, sophomore year of college. I think that was when I was going through my breakup with my ex. Like, we had broken up the end of freshman year, and so going into sophomore year, like, I came home, and, you know, when I was home for the summer, I tried to make more friends and get out more because of how I was going through the whole breakup process, right? And so I hung out with a lot of, like, high school friends or whatever, and there was this one guy who, like, he would consistently invite me to hangouts. And he was cool or whatever, you know, like, I didn't think much into him, like, in that way. I just thought he was, like, a nice friend, you know what I mean? And so, what's it? We hung out, like, all the time, me and him, and also, like in a friend group setting, we would hang out, right? And so, this one night, though, I guess everybody was busy, and so he asked me if I wanted to go to a party with him that was near my house. And so I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, he picks me up or whatever, or no, maybe my sister dropped me off. Yeah, I think it was my sister dropped me off there. She dropped me off at this party, and like, we met up with each other, him and I, you know, we hung out at the party. It was a normal ass night, and we were joking around, and then like, we were hanging out on the couch, and I don't know what it is. I just feel like the couch is where you get serious. Like, you know, when you just get into, like, fun, like, serious, deep conversation. So that's what we were doing, and we were joking around, we were having fun, but I'm not thinking that much into it. And plus, I was in my little innocent era, you know? Like, I was just in that, like, naive, like, oh yeah, like, we're friends, and, like, guys and girls can be friends, and blah, blah, blah. And it's okay if a guy is, like, super nice to you. Like, they can still be friends. It's not always flirting, Yeah, I was in for a rude fucking awakening. So, we are talking, and then all of a sudden he's like, do you want to hang out in my car? And, like, I didn't put two and two together. I just was like, yeah, sure, like, we can. And so we go to the car. Like, my thought process was like, okay, I guess it's, like, loud in here. So, like, that's why he wants to go to the car. I'm so stupid, bro. And so we go into his fucking car, and we're talking, we're joking around, and then all of a sudden it gets quiet, like dead fucking quiet, and he goes, so, and as soon as he said it like that, I was like, oh, fuck, like, oh, like, then it clicked, like, then I was like, oh, okay, all right, there it is, and so, he says that, I was like, so, you know, I like responded back, and then all of a sudden he goes in for a kiss. I didn't even have time to like process it happening because it just happened so fast. And so he goes in for this kiss, and like we're kissing, and I like, look, I wasn't for this kiss, but I wasn't against it. I was kind of trying to process, you know, the kiss. I was kind of just like, well, I mean, friends can have benefits. You know, I was kind of just like, whatever, I guess, you know, like, I kind of just didn't really give a fuck. I was just, like, in my little hoe era, so I was like, okay, I guess we can kiss, and then, you know, while we're kissing, we're, like, making out, we start kind of making out, and then all of a sudden, he just goes, during it, and when I tell you my eyes, like, they were closed and they flew the fuck open because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, what? I didn't say anything, but I was like, well, I wanted to laugh because the entire time while we were kissing, he just goes, like, the entire fucking time. Like, it was so weird. And all of a sudden, like, we were kissing more, and he goes, you're a professional. You're a professional. I was like, what the fuck do you even say, bro? And luckily, before that, like, I had actually texted my sister to pick me up, like, when we were in the couch area. And around the same timing, while we were in the car, my sister texted me and she's like, oh, I'm here. And I was so happy to see that text because I didn't know how to, like, awkwardly leave that scenario. I literally was just like, oh, fuck. Because I was, like, 19. Like, what the fuck do you even say? You know what I mean? So, yeah, my sister ended up picking me up. I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I have to go. And I left, and that was that, but I just couldn't fucking believe he was like, you're a professional. Like, it was so weird. And yeah, that's the story. That's why I called this story, you're a professional. I cannot. Oh my god, I hate men. And for the record, guys, the guy that I'm talking about in this story is actually the same guy in that situationship episode. If you guys go back to the situationship episode, the very first story in that episode, that's the same guy that I'm talking about. So yeah, remember when I promised you guys that I had a story on him? That's the story. So if you need a little refresher, go back and listen to that other story. Okay? Anyways, on to our next story and final story of the day. So, this one is called I Threw a Book at My Crush and Ran Away. This one pisses me off. It pisses me off bad because something really could have come between me and this crush, okay? It could have happened. Something could have happened, alright? Something could have sparked between us. But it didn't. It didn't, and it wasn't even my fault, okay? So, freshman year of high school, I had the hugest crush on this boy. In my English class and my Spanish class. He was in both of those. And the funny thing is those were back-to-back classes that we had with each other, and I was happy as fuck for that, you know? And so I had a huge crush on him, you know? Like, we got paired together for things all the time, too, which was even better. And so, freaking, when we had Spanish class, this is an important detail, I promise you. For Spanish class, we had these 2 workbooks and this 1 textbook, right? Now, one of the workbooks is called the guided workbook, and that one had to be kept in the back of the class. We just had to keep it there because we wouldn't be using it. And then we had the other workbook called the Common Core one. Now, the Common Core book and the guided workbook look exactly the fuck alike. Like, I can't even exaggerate that. Like, they look pretty much alike, except the only difference is the titles. But it's easy to get them confused because not everyone's gonna check the fucking titles, you know? And so, anyways, now that you have that important detail, I remember I told my sister that I had a crush on this fucking boy, right? I told her. And my sister was a senior at the time. So, you know, she could just go about wherever and, like, you know, walk wherever. So she went into the classroom that I had in Spanish class. Like, she went to that Spanish teacher's classroom and she took his workbook, and, you know, at lunchtime, her and I had the same lunch period. She gave me that workbook. She was like, guess what I have? And I'm like, what? And she's like, look, it's Leo Clark's workbook. Sorry, I'm giving his whole name. I don't give a fuck, though. I don't care. So, Leo, she gave me Leo's fucking book. And so she's like, oh, here, like, you should take this and give it to him and be like, hey, you left this in class. Like, give it to him so that you have extra time to talk with him, so you have an excuse to talk to him. Like, she was trying to hook me up, right? What I didn't realize is that this was the book that we're supposed to leave in the back of the classroom. So if you have that, like, you definitely look crazy, you know? Like, you're not supposed to be using that book. So I didn't notice that it was the guided workbook that's supposed to be in the back of the classroom. I thought it was the Common Core one that we use daily, right? I didn't look at it. I didn't check it. I didn't think into it. And so I'm just excited that she gave me this fucking workbook to give to him. So I planned to, like, give it to him at the end of the day. And now him and I were already friends. Because, like I said, we were paired together for things, like, all the time. And so I go up to him at the end of the day when it's time to, like, go home and take the bus and shit. And I'm like, hey, Leo, like, Miss Strata told me to give this to you, that you, like, left this in class. And he was like, isn't that the book we're supposed to leave in the back of the classroom? And I was like, then it clicked in my head, and I was like, oh my god, I'm such a fucking idiot, you know? And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, are you sure? Like, that says the guided work. And I was like, no, Miss Strata told me to give this to you, okay, bye. And I threw it at him and literally fucking sprinted to my bus. Like, not sprinted hardcore, but, like, when I tell you I speed walked, like, the fuck out of myself. Like, I literally went so fast because it was so embarrassing. I was just like, oh my god. Like, of course this would fucking happen to me. All because of my sister. I will blame her till this day, till thy kingdom fucking come, okay? I will blame that bitch because that was so fucking embarrassing. So, yeah. Leo Clark, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I even threw that workbook at you. I just had to be out of there fast, okay? For my own sake, for my own embarrassment, I had to be out of there. I'm so sorry. Yeah, another sip of wine is good. But yeah. Those are the stories of today, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to them, to me and my embarrassing fucking self. I'm sure that you enjoyed it. But anyways, those are my embarrassing stories of the day. And like I said, thank you so much for listening. It is always a pleasure. I'm glad that you were able to hear me get drunk all over again. Sorry if this episode was a little bit shorter today. It's just, these were more of like a to the point type of stories. But not because I wanted to be to the point. More just because they were just simple, but like at the same time worth telling. They were funny stories, but I just hope it wasn't too short for you guys. If you guys ever want to suggest me doing longer ones, I'd be happy to do them. Just let me know. But like I said earlier, I do have way more to come that are really funny. I'm just saving those as like for later because they're really good. It's almost like my fucking backup weapon. It's like my weapon at war. Like, I can't wait to tell those ones. They're gonna be really funny, and I can't wait for you guys to hear them, because the shit that I'm gonna tell you, like, you're gonna be like, are you fucking for real? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, it is for real. Yeah, that's literally just my life. But anyways, thank you again for listening. And now it's time to clear up all this energy we just let out. So we're going to close out with our sound healing session. So sit back, lie down, relax, shut your eyes, take a deep breath in from your nose and out from your mouth. And I'm going to play. Alright guys, thank you so much again for listening to my episode. I really always love having you guys here. It means the most to me. And I also always love reading the support that I get back from the episodes. It makes me feel really good. It helps me keep going, and it means the most to me. And I just thought I'd give that as a reminder. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Wish me luck on my date. And I hope you guys have the best this week and that you come back. That would be lovely. Anyways, goodbye.